Data errors. Streaming Plus conducted their first survey. Now it's time to process the results. The survey data is contained in survey data. Exercise. Use the space below to tabulate the survey data and print the results. You can use the same technique you used on the previous page. So we're going to create the tabulator instance. Is the tabulator type. And loop through survey data, incrementing the count for each response. So for each show in survey data, we are going to tabulator dot increment count for value of each show. And then we're going to loop through the tallied shows stored in tabulator.values, printing the information from each one. So for each show in tabulator values, print the string interpolating show, colon, and then interpolating tabulator count for each show. And our Xcode is just being a little bit glitchy. There we go. If you look at the output, you can see that some users made errors in their responses. They're pretty easy to spot because each error value has a count of 1 in the tabulator. You want to provide the most accurate data on the Streaming Plus marketing team, so you should clean up these errors. So let's look for the errors first. So we have beneath and Benfath, whatever that might be. Beyond the night with a capital H. Notice that's different than beyond the night. All right, so case matters. Finding Alyssa lowercase. So there are some errors in there. One approach to cleaning these results would be to throw out errors. If there are enough responses and not too many errors, there should still be useful information after throwing them out. You could find the errors by looking for values that have been tallied just once. But that technique won't work if multiple people make a common typo, like "te" instead of "the." The best way to spot errors is to compare your data with the list of show names. The show catalog constant contains all the shows in the Streaming Plus catalog. You can use the contains method of array to check whether a given show name is valid. Exercise. Using the tabulator you created above, add a loop below that prints only valid results by checking the tabulator values against the show catalog. Then add a second loop that prints only the errors. Finally, print the total number of errors in the survey data. All right, so we have show catalog and then print. We have our first cleaning pass, print a header, and then tabulation for valid data. So here's our whole catalog. And then this is just printing first cleaning pass, and then a bunch of new lines. So there's our initial array, first cleaning pass, that's empty, tabulation for valid data, empty, data error. So this is just some headings, essentially, that we're printing. So we are going to loop through all tabulator values. Only print the count for those that are contained in show catalog. So for each show in tabulator values, .values, if the show catalog contains, so .contains, the show, then print the show, and then tabulator count for value show, And that's it for that one. Create a variable to keep account of the errors. So this is just making variable error count. And we're going to initialize that to 0. Print a header. That is printing a header for us. Then we have loop through all tabulator values. So for each show in tabulator values, if a value is not contained in show catalog, so if not show catalog dot contains this show, then increase the error count. So it will be error count plus equals 1, and then print it. Print show. All right. So then we actually need some brackets closing. There we go. Let's see how we're doing here. So we have our full list, our full array. First cleaning pass. We have just a header under that, and then we have tabulation for valid data. All right, there's our valid data tabulation. Data errors. And then we have all of the errors being printed. Looks good so far. All right, then we're going to print the error count is the last thing. So we're going to print a string of our total error count. So total errors. And we're going to interpolate error count. And see how many we have. Total errors, 13. Next, we are going to correct errors.